Well, good morning. We were very aware that this session was the day after voting day and the election is still being tallied, and that we all had a chance to participate as voters and residents of this incredible country that we live in, the United States of America. So we have asked Connie and Andrew um, to speak about the United States, knowing our country has not often lived up to its ideals, but there has been a vision and a dream for America that we value. So we have Connie and Andrew for 10 minutes speaking about the dream of America. So over to you.
Well, thanks, Jane. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Good. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. And I have on my stars and stripes today. And I see that Jane has on red and white stripes. So, and I've always thought those red and white stripes had to do with the Native Americans, the red people and the white people coming together and bringing the true American dream to pass on earth. But meanwhile, I'm going to speak about the many American dreams. There have been many. I'm going to speak about a few from my perspective. And we can start with the dream of the first peoples of the portion of Turtle Island we call North America. Deep in their knowledge and way of life is the vision of humanity living in alignment with the original instructions from the Creator, which are synonymous with the universal laws that govern all of creation. This includes all beings, animate and inanimate, which have a spirit and divine purpose. This means walking in balance, honoring the sacredness and oneness that is our essence. To achieve access to these instructions, they would go out on the hill and cry for a dream, which would then inspire the tribe to act according to the dream received. Then came the dream of my ancestors, the Mayflower Pilgrims, who recognized the divine speaking through the Bible, indicating that humanity was to relate directly to God without the intermediary of the priests and hierarchy of the church. They defied their king, who was also head of the Church of England, committing treason in doing so. They escaped and journeyed to this land called America. And 400 years ago, next week, on 11/11, drafted and signed a compact binding them together in a civil body politic to enact equal and just laws serving the common good. Several months after landing on these shores, they encountered a people who shared this vision of divine guidance and participatory democracy and signed a mutual protection treaty on their first meeting in the spring of 1621 and lived in peace and friendship with them for 54 years. The resulting intercultural exchange gave birth to the American mind, spirit, and democracy. This underlying spiritual alignment with the divine was to infuse the leaders of the 13 American colonies with a trust in providence as they crafted a declaration and a constitution with principles that, with the influence of the great law of the Iroquois Confederacy, were to become the guiding documents of the nation known now as the United States of America. It's my understanding and vision that we are each here on Earth in these 3D bodies at this time in the evolution of consciousness of humanity to actualize the ideals and values that came through these dreams. The principles in our founding documents of liberty, equality, justice, and abundance for all. In God we trust. E pluribus unum, from the many one, laid the foundation upon which the emerging energies now available to us may inspire a new way of being. As the old systems that were not aligned with universal law break down, we become clearer conduits of divine presence through resonance and coherence with the power of our hearts. And we bring forth a society that truly embodies the essence of unconditional love, compassion, abundance, and reciprocity in daily living, in service to the good of the whole. It is in this way that we will bring peace on earth and heaven to earth. Andrew and I have written 2 books that give insights into the subjects at hand here. We co-authored The Trust Frequency, 10 Assumptions for a New Paradigm, that gives tools for embodying that founding principle of in God we trust. We call it the conscious, in the conscious loving universe we trust. And Andrew wrote The Mayflower Revelations, an historical mystery novel that shines light on the origin story of intercultural synthesis during the 54 years of peace and friendship in Plymouth. So now Andrew's going to lead you through a little visioning process.
So it's really interesting this day after this absolutely critical election, and we still don't know what the results or the outcome is truly going to be. However, it is a manifestation of that American type of democracy. There are other democracies on this planet and they work differently, but this particular one has certain foibles that are actually sort of biting at our ankles right now. So there's that. So I think it's kind of apropos and interesting that Connie, as a Mayflower descendant, her ancestors literally landed on these shores 400 years ago next week. That's pretty significant. And then I, as a Latter-day Pilgrim, actually sailed here from South Africa and landed on Thanksgiving of 1969. So I'm a Brit. And what I'm going to do is very simply ask us to, you'll recognize something that I'm about to read here. And it's from a fellow Brit who actually, we shared the same immigration attorney when we first came to this country in New York. And I know you know these words, and I think they're appropriate. So let's just close our eyes and truly, deeply, profoundly imagine an America that is, shall we say, a quantum leap more evolved, a quantum leap kinder, a quantum leap, what should we say, more abundant for all of those founding principles, the beautiful principles upon which this country is based in our founding documents. And yet it seems that that's not quite what's going on. So here we go. Let's just take one cleansing breath. And let us imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Let's sit with that gently and just let that sink in, because that is a vision that resonates with so many millions and millions of humans on this planet today. And yes, it was a 60s vision or a message from the future, whichever way we look at it. And I would just like to say that that is my personal vision expressed by one of my countrymen. So thank you and bless you.